We will now be taking a closer look at the prison block. As already stated, the prison block is seen in both Outlast and Outlast Whistleblower. In Outlast, we see it in the second chapter of the game, the prison block chapter, and in Whistleblower, we see it in the prison chapter. And so the most interesting fact about the prison block is that its exterior structure is basically identical for the most part to that of the male ward and the female ward. There are a few differences on the exterior, and also the interior is vastly different, as of course it does serve a different purpose. Its purpose is this is where you're going to have your violent inmates, those that are convicted of a serious crime. They're going to be imprisoned here. And yeah, so again, it's from the exterior. It's got 3 levels plus kind of the upper attic floor. There is kind of a basement to it. There's this lower level. It's very small though. It's only 2 wings of the of block B and of C block and B block. So, and also kind of this third level doesn't really have anything as well. So it doesn't really have anything in it. No actual interior that you get to explore in the actual game. And yeah, so again, very similar to the 2 wards. It does have kind of this little kind of balcony area out in the front, and that's just really there to actually access the building. It is kind of raised up. You can see it's not, so the first level is not level to that of the first floor of the wards. As you can see, it's actually more on the second levels where they actually line up. So, and of course there's a little staircase that you can access from the courtyard. So this is the main entrance. There's also kind of another kind of entrance. It's kind of this side entrance that leads to the recreation area. We're going to take a look at that shortly, but for the most part, this is basically just the front of the prison block. And you can also see that this side right here doesn't really have any windows, so kind of another kind of minor difference there. And also, of course, you do have this the hallway that connects the prison to the administration block. Kind of takes up a good portion of this wall, kind of blocks it off. So, but other than that, it's basically identical for the most part. So you got the main entrance, and it does have the little plaque here that says that reads prison block, which is somewhere over here. And yeah, so there's some lampposts out here as well, some benches. So, and it's kind of interesting how these areas are sectioned off and there's no doors here. So, just found that very interesting. And yeah, so that's the front. Going on to kind of the right-hand side here, it's, again, kind of similar to the sides of the 2 wards, except there are some differences. First of all, this side is made of brick, so, again, the exterior of the prison, it matches that of the administration block and wards, where you just use this sandstone, but on the right-hand side, it's made out of brick, which I always found to be interesting. I don't really have an exact reason as to why it's like that. It's probably to kind of match the walls of the recreation area, prison yard. And yeah, and also some of the windows, the actual arrangements of the windows are a little bit different than what you are going to expect to find. If you have seen the male ward and female ward, then you would know that it's a little bit different. So it's really only like this on the right hand side, and left hand side it's a little bit more closer to what you see with the wards. So, and yeah, so again, this is all just a recreation area. So, and as already mentioned, there is this is the side entrance I was talking about. So it's got a little plaque reading prison block, of course, got a little lamp there, and so this is just kind of a side entrance that leads into prison block, and it's basically here to access the recreation area prison yard, since the recreation area prison yard is going to be serving, it's kind of an outdoor area for the the violent, inmates that are imprisoned in the prison block. And yeah, and so yeah, this is the hallway that connects the prison block to kind of the female ward there. Again, some of the arrangements of the windows are a lot different than the two wards. And as for where this entrance actually connects to, it's unknown. Doesn't really go anywhere. Kind of, in fact, this room right here, this the second room, so it's kind of divided into two rooms. So there's kind of this kind of vestibule area, and then this larger room here, and this larger room intersects with B blocks. So it's very interesting, as you can see. So yeah, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So that's why I kind of say it's unknown where it connects to, because there really is no connection. There's no doors here in this room as well. So yeah, doesn't, again, there are certain parts of Mountain Massive Asylum that don't really come together all that well, and it's a little bit awkward. So, and then again, the right hand side of the prison block butts up against the recreation area. So again, this is all made out of brick on this side, and then once you get to the rear, again, you have more brick, but then from here on out, from this corner, it's back to the sandstone. And you can see at the back of the prison block is, again, more or less similar to the wards, but some of the window placements are a little bit different. Especially these windows here. These windows are for the showers. So, and you also got these vents here that you don't really see in the wards either. So, and also there's these railings on top of the roofs as well, and also some of these antennae here. So just some little details. So yeah, again, more railing. You got chimneys on the roofs as well. So just one, that one huge chimney, and then kind of this smaller one here. And so, and right here you can also see a hallway here that connects to the prison block, and this is here to provide access to the secondary vocational block from the prison block. Again, the way that this would work is that the female inmates could access their vocational block without having to mix with the male patients, which would have their own workplace, this vocational block. So again, that was pretty common practice back then for how this worked. Kind of keep the workplaces between the sexes separate. So that it's just a theory at least, but it's a very strong one, and it's got some really good evidence to it. And so on the left-hand side, the final side, again, more or less the same, except one major difference you're going to notice is besides some of the placements of the windows. Windows are more or less the same, but these windows are a little different. They have these iron grates on them. But one of the major differences you're going to notice is that this area, this corner here, sticks out a lot further than you would expect it to. So as this is what it would typically be. So it's very similar to what we see with the wards, but on this side it sticks out a lot further, which is very interesting. And again, it's not necessarily known why it's like this, but it might have something to do with the arrangement here of the drawing ground. And so yeah, here we have the hallway that connects the prison block to the male ward and the one of the vocational blocks. Again, the window placements here are a little different. And so that's basically it for the exterior of the prison block. Other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory for the most part. So I believe now we can head inside and take a look at the actual interior. And this kind of brings me to my next point. This is another very awkward, kind of an awkward moment here for Mount Massive. It's actually one of the major, I would say, major inconsistencies in the entire building. This right here is that the entrance is down here on the first floor, but the actual entrance that it would lead to is on the second floor. There is kind of this area here. This is how it is supposed to be. So you have the entrance, you have a little vestibule area, and you have a metal door here that kind of leads into this other closed off area, which then leads into, kind of the lobby reception room for a prison block. This is how it should work, but for some reason it's up here on the second floor. So this all here is supposed to be down here. So it doesn't completely make a whole lot of sense, but we're just gonna roll with it. So just kind of pretend that this is the first floor. So, and this is gonna get really confusing because we're on the second floor. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, like I said, this is kind of the foyer of the prison block. This is kind of the entrance. So from the courtyard at least. So again, it's closer look here. So yeah, just a little short hallway, kind of vestibule area, just a single fluorescent light, little exit sign. And yeah, there's kind of this, this is the entrance, but there's kind of this little closed off area here, which I find to be very interesting. And so there's two doors here, one on each side, and you can see it's not symmetrical, so it's like, it's only on this side. On this side, it's, not closed off. So yeah, a little bench there, and so we're in A block, so the prison block is divided into 4 blocks. So you have A block, B block, C block, and D block. And so that's just going to help you kind of find your way around. So the A block is more or less at the front of the building. And so, yeah. And this is kind of the color scheme, color palette of the prison block. Kind of similar to the wards, but instead of, there's really no dado, it's just half of the wall is just this kind of sand color with a little white band at the top, and then the kind of a band in the middle, and then at the very top in the ceiling, it's actually identical to the wards here. So this portion here is identical to the wards. Now, another very interesting, fun fact about the prison block is that all of the floor heights are identical on each floor. So, if you take a closer look here, the floor heights, the height of each of the levels is identical. So it's different than what we see in the wards or even other areas of the asylum. The floors are completely different. They're completely identical. So that kind of messes up with the prison because, well, on the exterior, all of the floor heights are different, so you can tell by the windows that the heights are supposed to be different, but once you get inside, they're all the same, which really screws up the actual interior, and it's kind of, I think, the reason why there's an entire floor missing here. So this, there's really no interior for this floor, because since all the floors are the same height, you're taking away the height that you would have by adding it to all of the 2 levels. All the different levels here, so it makes it shorter. If they were the same, if they're as the other parts of the asylum, that then you would have more height, added more height to the first floor, second floor, and then the third floor is, about this height. So if you added that extra height from the first and second floor, then that would probably be enough to go right about here, and so it would make a little bit more sense. But because of this, it just completely messes everything up. So, and yeah, and also another interesting, another fun fact about the prison block is that it doesn't have an elevator. It's the only, major area of the asylum that does not have an elevator. So it only has staircases. There's no elevator at all in the prison block. And yeah, so again, kind of going back to the main area here. So again, got sprinklers, and you got more of these light fixtures here, kind of the bowl-shaped light fixtures. You got a bunch of paintings here, so and portraits. You see Mount Massive again. Some of the different staff that worked here back in the day, and also portrait of the asylum back in the day, as well as the what I'm gonna guess is this is the the first floor of the lobby of the administration block. It's right by the elevator and staircase. You can kind of see it there. And so yeah, vent grates here, radiators, basically same fixtures you would expect to find, and some more of these signs directing you. And yeah, and this right here, you kind of have this little window here. This is kind of going to be your reception area. So got a computer desk and some tables here, some shelves, and this is probably going to be this right here is probably going to be the clothes you would be wearing. If you're going to be in prison here, you have prison jumpsuit, and this is probably what you're going to be given. So since these are kind of like clothing bins, similar clothing bins we see in the vocational block. And so yeah, we got a filing cabinet here, some more signs. So yeah, these we saw in the administration block. We got some trash bins. And yeah, the flooring here for most of the prison looks like this. It's just kind of this I don't know, concrete kind of flooring. So it's very basic. So like barely any. It's going to be like a regular prison that you would expect to find anywhere else. It's very basic. You don't have a whole lot of details being added in here. So yeah, more light fixtures here. Kind of a different one here. Different looking light here. And yeah, so and then there's tile in here. So some of the staff rooms, they do look a little bit nicer, but again, it's pretty basic. So yeah, more portraits. And so yeah, we have these metal doors here. So we don't have any wooden doors like we see in the female ward. It's a little bit more similar to the male ward, and that's because some parts of the prison block were restored when Murkoff took over the asylum in 2009. So some areas were restored, but not every single thing was repaired. You still see signs of damage. So this is all, for the most part, original, except maybe this door and these signs here. It's not original, but a lot of this stuff is. And then back here is just kind of an office. So just a computer desk, some shelves, and some more clothes as well. And so it's kind of got this tiled floor here, very similar, actually the same one we see in the wards. And then of course just the typical, just very basic, just white paint here. So kind of chipping away here, so you can tell it's paint. And yeah, and you can see it's kind of extends to this side of that space, and then there's a hallway here, kind of wraps around. So again, kind of some parts of the prison blocks are symmetrical, but not all of it. So, and this is kind of one of the exceptions. This hallway here is not symmetrical at all. Kind of wraps around the office here. And so back here we have, it's kind of a dead end, but there are 2 security rooms. And so yeah, here's the first one. This is the smaller of the 2. And you can see that it does have another window here that overlooks into a decontamination chamber. And so yeah, these are definitely not original. So these were added here when Murkoff took over. So originally it was just this hallway here. So it was kind of, a little bit more open concept, but they added this here and it kind of blocks this area up. So you have a decontamination chamber or airlock here. And so you're going to see a few of these in the prison block. And so again, actually this room right here has a similar style to the administration block, because we have this these linoleum tiles, very basic kind of, exterior wall color scheme. So it's a little bit similar, and some of the furniture is also the same. So this is not original. So fire extinguisher, more lights here, so yeah, pretty self-explanatory. And so we have another security room. Yeah, this one is a lot bigger, but again, it's got this basic setup here. These tiles here, wall coverings, but it is a lot bigger, so it's got more stuff in here. It's got 2 desks, and also this is right here, the again overlooking the gas lock, so the airlock. So you have this button here that you would press, and you can choose whether or not to open or close the doors. And so yeah, we got security monitors, yeah, Murkoff Corporation, and so this is going to give us some views of the prison block. And yeah, so again, very self-explanatory. It's got basically more or less the same furniture you would find in kind of an office or any security room for the most part. And so that's going to kind of wrap up this area here. So, and on each side there is a hallway here, so it's kind of similar to the wards where you have a hallway, and it has access to a stairwell, so it's very, very similar here. So yeah, a stairwell going up or down, so either the upper level or a lower level here, and this lower level is on the same level as you know, the first level on the exterior, so again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But again, it's got the same prison block color palette here. So I got exit signs, lockers, some benches here, and some cameras here. And so yeah, here's just what a standard stairwell looks like. It's got this kind of yellow tile here, and also just bare flooring here. So yeah, the stairwell is a little different than what we see in the wards. They're made more of kind of metal and concrete than wood, as we see in the wards. And again, they're all the same height, so the stairwells, the actual stair sections, are completely identical. So yeah, there's the airlock, and this right here is going to lead us to this area here. It's similar to the mail ward, so it's got like the you know, kind of this U-shaped hallway with this center room that's in kind of the center room in the center here that has a door leading into it, but we don't exactly know where it goes to, so it's unknown as to what this all is right here on the side. But here you can get a better idea of what it looks like. So yeah, there's just a single door leading into it. In the mail ward, there would be another door here, but there isn't in the prison block. But you do have 2 windows overlooking the courtyard, and you can also see the administration block and also the mail ward from here. And then right here, this is the hallway that leads to the mail ward. If you were to take a left from once you reach the end, so this would lead back into the mail ward, and so this would connect into like probably a dormitory, I would guess, is a safe bet, similar to kind of the female ward that we saw in the again, you know, kind of the you know, that area that we saw with the dormitory. So it'll be similar to how like the female ward connects to the administration block, for example. And so this leads back to the 3rd floor. This is where we, you know, meet Traeger and all that, or Traeger tortures Miles. So yeah, kind of this intersection, and then, you know, if you keep going straight, you reach the 2nd level of the vocational block. So yeah. Very good. And so going on to the other side, it's pretty much similar in terms of structure. There's no lockers or benches here, so it's a little different. It's a little bit more barren, but you still do have the cameras and, again, just some of the similar equipment that you would expect to find. So yeah, this is still part of A block here. You have another stairwell and another airlock. And at the end here, this doesn't go anywhere. It's just a dead end, so it's just this room here with 3 holding cells in it. So just 3 holding cells here. Actually, this one, the 3rd one, the larger one, is just kind of this it's kind of staff area, so it's got a little bench, some lockers. So only these two are holding cells. And you do have this main area here is more of a actual office. You know, got 2 desks here. So again, a lot of the actual structure here is original, but then like this stuff right here looks a little bit newer, so this is not original. And so that's basically that's really A block here. Yeah, this would be more of a C block here once you go past this airlock here. So now you have this area. So again, got the prison block, you know, color scheme being carried here. Got some pipes here, a fire extinguisher, cameras. And so you have another security room here. It's a lot larger. It's a much larger room, but it's still, again, got the same fittings here, same wall coverings and flooring. Then the other that matches the other security rooms. And it does have access to another airlock here, and more security cameras, a computer desk here. And so yeah, it's also got 2 doors leading into it. That's how large it is. And the other door leads into can be accessed from this hallway here that kind of runs perpendicular to this one. And so this hallway here, and also kind of this little area here, they have windows overlooking the C block, kind of solitary confinement cells. So that are down on the lower levels. Up here, this is just kind of the very upper portion here. There's really no space to actually stand on. It's just kind of an opening, just kind of an extra level here that adds some more height to it. And yeah, so there's kind of this closed off area here with 2 metal doors. So then in the center here, this leads back to the security room. There's also a large window here, actually 2, if you count this one. So yeah, these ones are smaller, as you can notice, so they let you view the lower portion of C block from here. So yeah, another airlock that leads to D block, and then at the end here, you do have the entrance, one of the entrances to the showers. So we're going to take a look at that shortly. And down here you have another door, and this takes you to a staircase. So another, again, very similar to what we see with the wards with these staircases. And there's also kind of this corner room, and it's not exactly clear what this is, but if you guess, you could probably guess that it's probably one of these rooms here. So like an office / kind of holding cell area that we see in some of the other corners. And so yeah, this is a lot different than the wards. So this is like completely different, as you can see, because in the wards you would just have a very long hallway going down from one end to the other, but you can see that these ends are not connected because of the showers. And so yeah, this is at the rear. This is at the very back of the prison block. I guess yeah, also the back of the asylum, because it's really not a whole lot to really see back here. And so yeah, before we head into showers, we're actually going to kind of circle back here and see what the other area looks like. So this is the other half on the left-hand side. So it's, again, more or less a mirror image, except you can see that there's no hallway here. It just kind of ends right here. So it's completely straight against this side. You just have more windows, which are in the same spots, although this one is different because it was right about here, because again of that hallway that continues right through here. So this area here is a little bit bigger, because it's more open without that little hallway there. And yeah, so again, another security room. basically more or less similar to the one we saw on the other side. So it's the larger one with the 2 doors and the 2 windows, and again you do have another airlock. So I got some vents here, and so another little kind of closed off area here, another door. So yeah, security room again, and this leads back to the showers, and you kind of have another little hallway here with access to yet another staircase. So this is the 4th staircase here. Kind of main staircase, I would consider it for the, if I would have to label a main staircase, there really is no main staircase like we see at the administration block or the wards. So it's just going to be those 4 smaller ones that are basically the main staircases, because they grant you access to the 3 main levels. So, but again, very similar to what we saw, just a mirror image of the other side. And we have this corner room here, which we can access. So it shows us that this is another kind of office area here on this half, and then on the other half, it's just holding cells. So yeah, just more holding cells here. Again, got the original tile in here and wall coverings. With a little mirror here and a little wash basin there. Kind of a deep sink there. And so yeah, this is all original here. These hallways here and everything else. It's really only the offices that were restored, because they look a lot newer and have newer stuff in it. So yeah, so now we have the showers here. The showers have to be, the only way you can open the door, unlock the door, is if you have a card. So these 2 doors here. If you want to go inside here, you do need a kind of a key card pass, just like the security room in the administration block, because this upper floor right here, so the shower spans 2 levels, so that you have this upper level here, which we're currently on, and then there's a lower level. This upper level here is going to be for staff. This is for staff only. Basically just kind of look down to the lower level, and the lower level is where the actual showers are, so this is where the inmates would shower. And from the top here, the staff would overlook and, make sure everything is fine, everything is in order. So it's just kind of this, like, viewing area pretty much. So this is just, for the security personnel. So, if they're staying in a security room, they can go through here, use their card, and access this area. And so that's really the only spot to access this area. There's nowhere else you can access it. There's just these little grates here, kind of grated openings that look into the stairwell that leads to the actual, the lower level of the showers. And that's also where these windows are from the rear. So you get some very nice view of the mountains from out here. And yeah, and this area is very, very bare. Just like cement, concrete here. So yeah, it's very basic. So again, it doesn't really have to look nice, because it is a prison, so very basic materials, just the cheapest you can find. And then yeah, you kind of have these kind of like chain link, kind of similar to the chain link fences we see in the courtyard. So just prevents you from falling over. It's interesting how it's kind of like a chain link fence. I think a railing would have just been fine as well, but yeah, and so this is part of D block. So this is at the rear. So at the front you have A block. On the left hand side you have B block. Or actually no, this is C block. Yeah. So left hand side is C block. On the right hand side is B block. And then in the kind of the center and rear is D block. And so anyways, that's basically it for the Actually, I forgot the prison. So from here, from the actual airlock, you can access it from either side. You have an airlock here. Originally this would have just been like a hallway like this. So, but then they added an airlock and kind of blocks this area off. But once you go here towards the center, you do have the main prison area. So this is D block. This is the main prison area. This is where a good portion of the inmates are actually going to be staying. And so, yeah, again, got the original prison block wall paneling here and flooring. And so, yeah, this is now D block. It's also interesting how this hallway here is it's a little bit longer than the one on the other side. But yeah, so, yeah, of course, security is going to be pretty high here, so you have plenty of these metal doors here, kind of restricting access quite a bit. So you have these two here. This one here just kind of goes down to the other one here, so you can just basically walk down a straight line from B block to C block here. Just go straight. But if you go right or if you go left, depending on which side you're on, you do access the middle level of the main prison area. And so there's 10 cells on this level. So there's 3 on this side, 3 on that side, and then 4 in the kind of the center area. And so there's no cells on this side, they're only on the upper level here. And so yeah, let's have a look at just a typical cell here. So they're all identical. I've checked and they're all identical. So they all come with this metal bed that would have a mattress. You have a little table, a bedside table. You have a toilet and you have a sink, and that's basically all you get. Plus this very small light fixture. And so yeah, that's most of these all look the same. Yeah, actually all of them look the same. This is how they would look like. So yeah, very basic, and as you can see, just concrete walls as well. It's very basic. And so we have some loudspeakers here for announcements. Of course, you have some railings here. And so yeah, this is all like concrete pretty much. And there's also a staircase here, so this staircase goes up to the upper level, which we'll be taking a look at once we go up there. And also in kind of this center portion, you do have these 2 doors here that lead into this kind of entrance area. You do have this opening here with an kind of iron grate here, and it looks into the showers. And on each side, there's a staircase leading down to the lower level of the showers. So this is actually one of 2 ways you can access the lower level of the showers. The other way is through a door on each side here. So, and the idea here is that the patients would, be staying in their cells, and when it's the time to go shower, they would go through here, and then through here, through these doors, and then down here, and into showers. So it's very basic setup here. And with that, that's actually the kind of main level here. And then there's also a door here, which leads to the second level, the upper level of the second level of the recreation area as well. Although again, it's unknown where exactly this would connect to and how. And yeah, so that's the main level. And so I guess now we'll take a look at the upper level first, and then the 2 lower levels. And so yeah, and like I mentioned, there are 4 staircases that you can use to get up here. That's really the only way besides the staircase in D block, this one right here. And even then, that's really the only way to get up to this section because it's walled off. This area here is completely separate from the surrounding areas on the upper level. There's no way to get into this area except for that staircase. And then yeah, so like I said, you have the 4 staircases here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's the 4 ways you can access this level, with the exception of this door here from the 3rd level of the recreation area. And so yeah, we're gonna kind of start. Guess we'll start in this corner and work our way around. So again, the hallways here, very similar to the lower floor, and of course they're basically identical because the heights are pretty much the same, except on this end the area looks a little different surrounding the actual door. And there's no airlock here, so this area is just kind of a dead end, doesn't go anywhere. So once you go up here, you can go left or right, you can't go straight either. So yeah, more fluorescent lights, sprinkler system here, radiators. So yeah, basically just pretty self-explanatory. And then you kind of come to this area. This is the area that's above the main reception area, you know, entrance to the prison block. This is kind of a it's kind of an employee area because the areas surrounding D block, they're more for staff really. So you just kind of have a desk here, lockers, benches here. So it's kind of like a little area for the staff pretty much. So it's very open as well, and it does have tile, but then it does have just a standard typical prison block wall coverings. So and it's kind of like a U shape. So it's U-shaped and it connects to the other side, and in the center of it is a it's kind of this other kind of security room. So yeah, more cameras. And so right here, this is at the very front of the prison block. You have a little area here, and on each side you have what I'm guessing is restrooms, because on this side this is a restroom. So I'm guessing on the other side it would also be one. And it's a very small one. You just have a toilet and a sink. So there's no stalls or anything. It's just a very small little restroom area. And like I said, this is at the very front of this area. So yeah, another bench there. Yeah, more kind of ventilation shafts there. And so this leads us into this other area. So if you were to be taking this stairwell, this is where you would come up to. Again, there's no airlock or anything, just either right or left. If you go right, you go into the main little area here, and if you go left, you have an office. And this is a very interesting office because you don't necessarily have to go into the actual office to go around this area. As you can see, there's actually a little separate hallway that you can use, so you don't have to go through the office to in case you want to go here. You just have a little hallway that kind of wraps around it. And so there's 2 doors and just kind of these glass windows here, so it's kind of this L shape. And so here is the office, and so it's not a perfect square rectangle. It does have a little nook here, and so it's got tile. It's got, again, kind of the same material choices as you see in the administration block. So this has been restored. This is not original except for maybe this tile. And so yeah, this is kind of an office. It's got more shelves here, got some clothes, computer desks. And yeah, just an exit sign directing you where to go in case of an emergency. And then yeah, so kind of going more towards the left-hand side here, this is above C block now. So yeah, this is all above C block. And this area here is above the little hallway area that leads to the vocational block in male ward, in case you're wondering where we are. And so yeah, this is now this hallway here. You know, it's a very interesting shape. You have multiple hallways here, go different directions. So I mean, it's the same. It is the same hallway, but you know, just branches off and turns quite a bit here. So first it goes kind of goes forward here, and then you take a right hand turn here. You have a little door. You have a door here which leads into I'm guessing an office, since there's a lot of offices up here. I'm guessing that's where this would lead to. And then at this intersection, if you go left, you have a security room. The door, interestingly enough, doesn't have security labeled on it, but I mean, it's pretty much a security room. It's like identical to this room, so it's just kind of copy and pasted pretty much. So it's got the security cameras, it's got the desk, it's got access to an airlock, which we don't know where this goes to. So kind of towards the back here of this level, it's unknown how this is laid out. So you just have the staircases here, and that's it. So really unknown as how this would look like, but I'm guessing there would also be this area, since it's also down here. So there would be just a hallway here, probably another corner room like this one, and then like a hallway that would connect it to this airlock, is what I'm guessing is how it's arranged. And then going down here, you have another office, of course, but it's a much larger office. It's got kind of these computer bays as well, so much larger office. Again, this looks to be restored. And then the kind of security room I brought up earlier. And it does have a radio, so it does have the radio that, of course, Waylon uses in the prison chapter in Whistleblower. So shortwave radio, and also a very large display of security cameras, much like the one we saw in the security room in the administration block. So it's a very large setup here, several cameras here, and these ones show the administration block. And the reason they show the administration block is because it was copy and pasted. This right here was copy and pasted from the administration block security room, so that's why it doesn't show the prison block. But it would definitely show the prison block if this were real, I'm guessing, you know, real life. So again, tile, and it's very similar to this room and also some of the other ones we saw in the administration block. So again, it just looks very new. So this is definitely not original. And so yeah, just the door here, window as well. And so this is where it's located, just kind of this little section here of the main area. And then there's another door here. So there's this is from the that would lead from, you know, that area from the left hand side, and this is the right hand side. So you can basically just like pass through this room. So if you needed to get from there to there, you could just go right through this room. And on the other sides, for the most part, identical, except it doesn't kind of branch off here. It just leads directly to an exit to the recreation area. And so this is part of A block here, but we're right above B block, which is interesting. So again, typical prison setup here, you know, wall coverings and flooring wise. There's another room here, and so this would probably be another office, judging by how it actually looks. And it would have a window, but yeah, this doesn't quite make sense, because if you're in this area, you know, you don't see anything. So, and also, judging by the window, it would look into an airlock, and there's no airlock to be seen. So, again, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, since there would supposedly be a hallway here if there's a window, judging by what we see else in the prison block. And so yeah, again, that kind of goes to the exit. And there's another room here. Now this room is a lot bigger, as you can see, and again, I apologize that it's so dark, but this room has the same wall paneling as the hallways, and it's got tiled floor here, and so it's unknown what this room is. It kind of intersects with the main prison area as well, so I'm really unsure why this is here. It's just this very, very large room, actually one of the largest rooms in the prison. And then over here you have another room, and yeah, it's again a lot of these copy and pasted rooms, just another kind of security room area with a window. And again, you could probably guess that there's supposed to be a hallway here and another airlock, but again, we really don't know. And so, since that would kind of intersect with this area, since this right here would probably be the same as what's below it, so this door here would lead into kind of this holding cell area with kind of a little office area set aside. So this is at the corner of the, on the side where the hallway connects to the administration block. And so you have something very weird here. So again, it's unknown how exactly this is supposed to work, because this hallway here that leads back to the administration block, it intersects with this area. So it just leads right into it, as you can see. Very strange. And so that's basically it for this area here. And then, you have the upper floor of this stairwell here. And so it's unknown where it would lead to. So the only area left up here is, the main prison area. So this is the very top level. And it has the most amount of cells here. It has 14 cells, unlike the first and the second level, where they only have 10. So there's a total of 34 cells in this area, and since each of them only have one bed, they can accommodate one person. This area can accommodate a maximum of 34 inmates, slash patients here. And so again, the rooms are, very basic, as we saw on the second floor. Very basic setup, bed, little bedside table, toilet and sink. And it's kind of got this blue bedspread here, so kind of blanket with just a mattress. So definitely not the most comfortable conditions here. So very, very basic. And so yeah, this is part of D block here. And so just a lot of concrete here. Some of it has been ripped away, as you can see, and you just have like rebar sticking out. And some more railing, and for some reason there's just a single door here. I'm not really sure why this is here, since it doesn't really prevent you from going anywhere, since you can just go around, since this area kind of wraps around, and you can be right here on the other side, so not really sure why there's a door there. And then there's a staircase that leads you back to the second level here. So again, there's 14 cells up here, 4 on this side, 3 on left and right hand sides, and 4 at the back here. And so yeah, these 2 cells are above the little entrance leading to the showers. And so that's it for the upper, kind of the, really it would be the 4th level, since this is the 4th level, 3rd level, 2nd level, and then the 1st level would technically be the 2 wings here, or really this could also be the basement as well. So yeah, it's very confusing. The prison block is very confusing. Kind of have to be just be careful. And so yeah, that's the upper level here. We're now going to head down to the 2nd level if we're going from the ground up. But it can also be the 1st level if you're calling this the basement. So yeah, and Second level or first level here is on the first level of the exterior. So from like the balcony area and the entrance. So again, and this is where you find the fake entrance, where this is the this is supposed to be down here. So yeah, it's very confusing. But so this is the stairwell, of course. So you have the 3 levels, and this is the bottom here. And so you come across another airlock. So there's an airlock on each side. And so originally this would have just been a hallway that led directly to a door, and this door takes you to a stairwell. Here, because you add an airlock, it's kind of blocks this area up a bit. And so this is A block here, and then this is B block on the other side of the airlock. And again, it's got the same height as the other floors, and typical prison block scheme here. Again, very self-explanatory. And so you have 2 possible ways you can go. On the left-hand side, you have a hallway that kind of takes you towards the rear. And if you go straight, it leads you to B block. So on each side here, on this side is B block, and on the other side is C block. And so these wings here, these are the solitary confinement cells for the most part. So kind of the padded rooms, that we've seen before. And so there's 15 on each wing. So, times 2, that comes out to a total 30 solitary confinement cells, 15 on each side. And so there's 5 on this upper floor here, and then there's 10 on the lower level. And so, as we've discussed on the top level, there's just kind of this upper portion here that doesn't have anything. And so yeah, a lot of doors here, as you can see. So just kind of restrict access as much as possible to so that patients don't escape. And yeah, so there's this hallway here, which is another way you can access this area here. So you can either go through this hallway or this hallway, and they'll both take you to the same place, except if you go this way, it'll take you a little bit longer, since there's more doors, and it's a little bit out of the way. So if you want to take this hallway for whatever reason, you won't have to walk past the patient's cells. And so there's 2 more doors on each side. You have a lot of these metal gratings here. And so walking down here, kind of have this middle level here. Looking up, you can look up to the upper level here of C block or the lower level. And so yeah, there's only the 5 cells up here are only on this side. And this is the side where you have the recreation area. So that's where it is. And yes, again, there's 5 cells here, and they're all identical. They only come with a bed, so this is all you're getting. Just a bed and just a padded cell here with a light fixture. And that's all you're getting. And this is a cell that Miles wakes up in. This was Father Martin's cell while he was staying in Mount Massive Asylum. So again, B block, and you have the upper level here and lower level. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, just a lot of concrete here, much like we saw with the main prison area. And so this is more towards the back. So yeah, if you were to go this way, this hallway really has nothing in it. It's just a hallway. So there's really not a whole lot going on here. It's right above some of the lower cells and the lower level of B block. So yeah, another door there. And so if you go left, that takes you to the showers, kind of a little middle area. If you keep going straight for a little bit more, on the right-hand side, it takes you to B block here. It's one of the solitary confinement wings. So yeah, B block. And then at the end here, this takes you to another stairwell and one of the corner rooms here. So this would probably be another kind of holding cell / office area. And you also have the lower level of one of the four kind of main stairwells. And again, this is all wall coverings and flooring is the same here. Yeah, more light fixtures, sprinkler valves, loudspeakers for announcements, and some exposed piping. So this is all original here. See a lot of paint chipping away and a lot of rusting on metal components. Guess we'll go to the other side. The other side is, yeah, it's basically identical. So again, you have kind of this little hallway here that takes you to the stairwell. From this area, you go down here. You have an airlock hallway here, which takes you to a C block here. And so kind of the middle floor here. Another hallway here, and yeah, you can see that's completely bare. There is nothing in here. C block, if you go right, it takes you to the showers. If you go a little bit more forward and turn left, it takes you back to C block. And if you go forward again, if you keep going forward all the way to the end, you have another stairwell and probably another kind of holding cell and office area, much like we see right above us. And so here's C block. It's again kind of a mirror image of B block. So you have 5 cells on the upper floor, 10 on the lower level. And it also has this little staircase that takes you to the lower level. So there's also one here as well. And I guess, yeah, this is one of the little differences here, because this stairwell is, kind of more towards this side, and so is this one. So it's not a true mirror image, because if it was, then this staircase would be a little bit more towards this side. So, but other than that, it's pretty identical. So, yeah, light fixtures that hang pretty low, actually. And so this is the upper level of C block here, kind of the little security area. So again, this is all more for security personnel, just to kind of keep an eye on things, for the most part. If something's going on, if they see something from the windows, they can quickly make their way down here and assist if necessary. And yeah, so that's C block on this level. And then more towards the middle section, we have the main prison area and the showers. And so yeah, on each side there's a door here, and this takes you to the showers. So this is kind of more for staff, really. The patients would access, the inmates would access the showers from, again, this upper level here. Since on the first level, this takes you to C block or B block. And yeah, so like I mentioned, the lower portion, the lower level of the showers is the actual showers themselves. So yeah, got a bunch of shower heads here, got some railings to hold on to. And so it's got this very interesting tile work that you don't really see anywhere else. So kind of this similar tile to what you see in the stairwells, but then it's also white in the middle and just kind of concrete at the top here. And so again, this is kind of the top kind of gallery area. This is for staff, and this is down here. This would be for inmates. So yeah, and this is the showers as part of D block. So yeah, columns here, of course, light fixtures. Got some viewing areas here. And then at the sides here, you have these smaller areas where you have lockers, hand dryers. Well, on this side, but then on this side, there's sinks and some more lockers. So you go down the stairs, and you go in here. And then these doors are just meant more for staff to get to, so they don't have to go too far to get down here. Then you have signs directing you, so on, that way is C block, and that way is B block, and there's more doors here. And so this is kind of the main entrance to the main prison area of the whole prison. So this is the very lower level of the three of main prison areas. So there's 10 cells down here, just like the second level, and they're all identical for the most part, as you can see. So bed with a little table, toilet, and sink. And yeah, again, more concrete here, very large pillars. So pretty self-explanatory. And yeah, and there's no stairwell actually in this area, so only the second and third levels are connected. For some reason, there's no stairwell leading down to the slower levels, so the only way to get down here is through this area. So if you're being, being processed as an inmate, you go through this area, you get checked in, you get your clothes, and then from either side you can go down the stairs, go through here. So this kind of be more for patients to go through this area, and then go through here. And if you're down here, at least for the upper levels, it's a little bit different. So, and yeah, so again, the main prison area is at the center of the entire building here. And so now we're going to go down to the very bottom. This is the first floor, or really more the basement, because it's basement area is below kind of the main area here. So yeah, you consider it the basement because in the wards, the basement is below the main structure. And since this is below the main structure, it's kind of consider it the basement, really, if you want to. So again, there's a total of 4 levels of the prison that you can access. Of course, this would be because of like the attic and this level that you can't access. Kind of here, it'll be really 6. So yeah, very large section here. Prison block is definitely one of the larger sections in the asylum. So yeah, and really, so down here in the basement, there's only 2 areas, like I mentioned. It's the 2 wings of the solitary confinement wings. So B block and C block here. B block and C block are the only areas that have an area down here. There's no basement level on D block or A block. And so yeah, there's 10 cells down here, whereas up here there's 5. And so the cells are, again, identical. You just get a bed in here. That's kind of on the left-hand corner here of the room. So basically just copy and paste it pretty much. It's also interesting that the doors swing outwards. So they don't swing in inwards, they swing outwards. And again, just a lot of concrete here, as you can see. Yeah. And the only way to get down here is with this staircase here from the upper floor. And that's pretty much it. That's all that's down here. It's the only area that's down here. And then there's 10 cells down here on C block. And kind of a little crevice here kind of shows you some of the piping and kind of the inner works of the building here. So, but you're not really meant to see this. And with that, that's basically going to wrap up the prison block. So that's really all there is you really need to know about the prison block. And yeah, so that is concludes my tour of the prison block, and I will see you next in probably going to do the courtyard next, or the vocational block. So I'll see you there.